Hi guys, I hope you're all keeping well and safe. Welcome to Early Years Matters TV. On this channel, we focus on everything early childhood related. And if these are the kind of videos you're looking for, what do you have to do? Subscribe. And not just subscribe, turn on that notification bell so that whenever a new video is being dropped on this channel, you'll be the first person to be notified. Today, I'm going to be talking about reflective practice in early childhood. Yes, today's discussion is going to be all about reflective practice in early childhood. I'll start by giving the definition of reflective practice. So what is reflective practice? Reflective practice is an act whereby you think about a particular activity or particular event that has happened and how you can improve. Reflective practice is all about thinking about a particular activity or event that you have done in the past, what went well, what went wrong, and how you can improve if you're to repeat the similar activity or event in the future. So reflective practice simply means an act where you, as the early childhood educator, you reflect, you think about an event that has happened in the past. It could be an event that has happened in the past between you and the child, between you and the parent, between you and your other colleague, reflecting on what went well, what went wrong, and if that event or activity should repeat itself in the future, what are you going to do better? So at cite an instance, let's say for instance, to deal with two changing behavior relating to two children. Let's say for instance, the two children were dragging their toys and maybe you felt that you didn't deal with the situation very well. Maybe perhaps you took the toy from the children without explaining the process of why you have to take the toy off them. Maybe you just simply, you took the toy and you're like, okay, go and find something else to do. So maybe from you reflecting, you were like, you didn't deal with that situation very well. You should have sat the two children down and explained to them why you have to take the toy off them. So it could be simply saying to them that Connor and Florence, you let Florence have the toy for 5 minutes. And then when Florence is done with the toy, playing with the toy for 5 or 10 minutes, she can pass it on to Connor. And Connor can also have the toy for 5 or 10 minutes and pass it on to Florence. So you thought that was the way you should have dealt with the situation, but you did not. Maybe because you just want to act on the spot, you took the toy off the children and you're like, okay, go find something else to do. So that event has happened. But what you did there was reflection. So you went on to reflect going forward. If this situation should happen again, if two children are fighting over a particular toy, this is how I'm going to deal with it. So this is what reflective practice is all about. It has its importance. So you sense that an event that has happened in the past, you heard about it, saying you didn't deal with it very well, and going forward, this is how you're going to do if such event occur again. That's another example. It could be between you and your colleague. Maybe you're working with another staff member in the room, something happened and you didn't deal with it very well. Maybe perhaps the other staff member was not being nice to you, or maybe the way they spoke to you, and what you did was to just neglect them, or maybe they asked you to do something, you just neglected them, you didn't listen to them. And maybe you went back to reflect and said that, I'm gone there, I didn't deal with this situation very well. Perhaps I could have talked to the room leader and explained to her why I couldn't complete the task. Maybe she wants you, for instance, to plan an activity for the children, and you had another activity planned. Maybe, for instance, she wanted you to do a particular activity for the children and you had another activity planned. But instead, you just ignored. You're like, well, I'm going to stick to my own activity. So maybe you reflected, you were like, you didn't deal with the situation very well. You should have explained to the other staff member why you're bent on doing the particular activity. Maybe because perhaps you've observed the children, it's their interest. So you need to let the other team members see from your own perspective. So going forward, you're like, if this situation happens again, this is how you're going to deal with it. So I'll cite another example. Maybe you also have a parent that come into the setting in the morning giving out about a child. Maybe, for instance, a child came home last today all dirty, and then she was giving out that, why will a child be wearing dirty clothes? She was giving out, and all you could do was just like, you didn't say anything. Maybe you felt you didn't know how to deal with the situation very well. So you had a thought about it. You're like, I'm gone there. I should have explained to the mother or the father why their child had a dirty cloth on. Maybe perhaps it was doing outdoor play. They went out and they didn't have a spare of clothes. So you need to explain to the parent. Perhaps the parent might not understand that their child does not have a spare of clothes. Spare role in that situation is to explain to the parent, saying, Florence, It's not that we didn't want to change Connor's clothes, but just that she didn't have another pair of clothes. So you can see that you're dealing with it in a right way. So this is what reflective practice is all about. It's thinking about event that has happened in the past, what you did well. On going forward, this is how you're going to improve if such events. And one thing about reflective practice, it makes you to be a better early childhood educator. Yes, this is what reflective practice is all about. It's all about improving yourself as an early childhood educator. It's to make you to be a better early childhood educator. You've reflected on an activity that happened in the past that perhaps you didn't deal with it well, and going forward, you've learned your lesson that going forward, if such situation occurs, this is how you're going to deal with it. I hope you've taken note of what reflective practice is in the area of early childhood education. And if you want more of this video on this channel, what do you have to do? Subscribe. Subscription is free. And not just subscribe, turn on that notification bell so that whenever a new video is being dropped on this channel, you'll be the first person to be notified. And also on this channel, I have a join button. You might be wondering, what is this join button all about? It's to have you as one of my mentees. If you want me to mentor you, are you an early childhood educator, an emergent early childhood educator? You're looking for a mentor. Don't go far away. I am that mentor because I'm an expert in the area of early childhood. I'm a join button out, and it's called to be your mentor. The pack you have to subscribe to is called Early Years Mentorship. And I'll be your way next time. Stay safe and mind yourselves for now. Bye.